Femininity. A word, a way of being, a label, something to strive for or avoid, depending on who you ask. Is it a strength or a weakness? Outdated or needed more than ever? It's a word that's been on my mind for months, as I've come to realize that this journey I'm on, from being a hardcore feminist just a few years ago to embracing femininity, homemaking, and being a submissive wife, is far from over for me. I realized that there are some easy wins. I've found, for example, that wearing only dresses and skirts did have a big impact on how I felt about my day-to-day tasks as a mom and a wife. If I have to get dressed every day, filling my closet with a few pretty things, selecting quality everyday jewelry, or finding a way to wear my hair that works for me and my husband likes, these small things do matter. Ironically, I now realize that how I dress is a very small part of becoming the feminine woman that I imagine I can be one day. But when I first assessed my wardrobe of jeans, slogan t-shirts, and crop tops just 3 years ago, it wasn't a small thing. It was a big deal to toss all of that out and make a commitment to myself to wear a dress every day. And now I love it. I would argue that it's more comfortable. It doesn't bother me that the hem of my dress gets dirty as I stoop to pick up my daughter or gets splashed with mud on a dog walk. Wearing a dress seems to remind me that beauty matters, and it can be a part of my life every day, if I choose for it to be so. That being said, I still have a lot of work to do to become feminine. I can bake bread, I like to host, I speak softly, I listen to my husband's advice, and I try my best to follow his lead. All things that even a year ago were much harder work for me. But I can still feel in myself that there are even more walls to break down and layers to shed. Surrender. Another word that keeps coming up, especially when I think about femininity in my life. Surrendering my ego, my desire to control, the teachings of my early years that told me I could do everything for myself, that made me prideful and afraid to admit that I need help, whether it's big or small. I heard it said recently that being a woman means learning to receive, and that's something that makes us feel a bit icky in this feminist world we live in. To just be, not have to do, in order to receive love, affection, help, or support. That offering other people your smile and your time is enough. You don't have to have a long list of specialist skills or impressive accolades to discuss with them. And actually realizing that there's a massive void in the world when women don't do these little, warm, loving things. Smiling is a small thing, but when you remove that joy from the majority of women or tell them that they don't need to be warm and inviting, interactions quickly become a lot more hostile, selfish, and they lack beauty. Embracing my femininity also means accepting my limitations and surrendering myself to the reality that I cannot do everything well. But there are things that need to be done well and with a good spirit all the same. Maybe I don't have it in me right now to come up with lots of cool kids crafts or start planning my homeschooling routine or creative ways to play. I found that trying to do too much really drains the joy from the things that still need to be done every day with a smile. Cooking breakfast, bath time, greeting my husband when he comes home from work. All I did today was go to the bakery and take my kids to the park. But I wasn't exhausted, and so I didn't snap as much as I did yesterday. Slow and steady progress matters. At least this is what I tell myself. At the beginning of a journey towards becoming more feminine, we all have to pick somewhere to begin. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed, as I did. I didn't dress or act femininely. I certainly didn't believe that motherhood was a vocation or that I would ever find joy in serving others. I had hardly any domestic skills, and compared to many women, I still hardly have any that I can really claim to have actually mastered. But just start. Get some dresses. Practice listening. Try taking some advice or asking someone for some. Be flexible and do something that you know will make someone else happy, even if it wouldn't be your first choice. Be grateful for anything that someone does for you, and don't focus on how you would have preferred it if they did it slightly differently or chosen something else for you. Try to learn something from women who are older than you or younger than you. Tune into how you feel in their homes. It's not so much about how it looks or whether they made you a great meal. It's often about the fact that they told you to sit and make yourself comfortable. They asked you about your day, brought you a tea, or lit a candle. The way they treat your children also speaks volumes, as does how you treat the children who come into your life, whether they're yours or someone else's or strangers that you meet in the park or in the supermarket. Don't be afraid to do something that seems old-fashioned or over the top. Buy spare snacks for the park in case your kid makes a friend. Take someone flowers even if it isn't the cultural norm. Kiss someone on the cheek or hold their hand. These little acts of love can mean the world to someone. And I know this because they mean the world to me. It's small, but it matters immensely when people smile at my daughters on the street. And she notices when they don't. It's not wasted on me when another woman makes me a hearty meal at this stage of my pregnancy or offers me second helpings. And I can't tell you how much I love to see other women laugh and be a bit silly, to dance around their living room, chase their kids at the park, and be able to laugh at themselves. Being a woman is such a gift. We are all different, and yet we all hold the same infinite potential inside us to make this world better and beautiful and warm and sweet. And this whole speech probably sounds like a ramble to you, and maybe you've gotten to this point and thought, no thanks. It sounds like a fairy tale or too much like hard work. But I'll bet you all know at least one woman who's made you feel special, who made you feel truly loved and important. That warmth and kindness never goes unnoticed, and it can change our day, our year, and our path through our entire lives. Wherever you start, I pray you'll decide to start embracing that feminine potential of yours, to celebrate how God made you, and recognizing that letting go of what the world says about women or about you is important. Instead, tune into what God made you for, what He asks of you. Giving freely of your time, love, and affection is against the mainstream narrative, and it probably won't make you rich or famous. But I believe if even one life breathes easier because you have lived, it will have been worth it. Thank you all for tuning into another video here. If this is your first video of mine that you're watching, then my name is Elizabeth. I'm a homemaker, a mom of 2 girls, soon to be 3 girls, and I publish weekly videos here, or at least I try to, all about faith, femininity, and homemaking. So if that's your kind of thing and you'd like to follow me along on this little journey of mine from being a feminist to embracing femininity and traditional gender roles, then I hope you'll stick around and consider subscribing. I hope to see you all here again soon for another video, but in the meantime, take good care everybody, and God bless.